Going to work on spinal strength, flexibility, and alignment today. We haven't done a spine strengthening class in a while, so we'll be doing a lot of postures that are going to help us open up for some back bends at the end of class, and we'll do a variety of back bends. So good? Good? Okay, awesome. Well, we're gonna start seated, so find a comfortable seat where you can keep your spine nice and upright. Align your head with your spine, your shoulders over your hips. Rest your hands on your knees. Close your eyes. Inhale through the nose. Let it go through the mouth. One more open mouth exhale. Inhale, fill all the way up. Just hold it at the top and then let it go through the mouth. Close the lips. Inhale and exhale through the nose. And just take these few moments before we begin to move, to settle into your space, to really connect deeply with your breath. Relax the jaw and the forehead. And just do your best to let go of any distractions and just bring your presence and your awareness onto your mat. And take 3 more Ujjayi breaths here, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Finding an audible quality to the breath. And keep the eyes closed if you're comfortable. Otherwise, open your eyes. On the inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. And as we exhale, release ear to shoulder, chin to chest. Move into some full or half neck rolls. Just releasing any tension we have in the neck and the shoulders, upper back. Last one in this direction. Next time the chin comes toward the chest, pause, and on the next inhale, reverse directions. Last one, and this time we'll end at a neutral spine, so coming all the way back up to center. Let's do some side bends and spinal twists. So inhale, both arms up overhead. Come off to the right. Release right hand and right elbow toward the floor. Reach up and across with the left arm. Keep the sitting bones grounded. Keep left shoulder in line with left hip and stay really active through the left hand. Inhale, both arms up overhead and switch sides, bringing left hand, left elbow to the mat or to the floor. Reach up and across with the right arm. Keep right shoulder in line with right hip. Stay active through the right hand. Keep both sitting bones grounded on the floor. Inhale, both arms up overhead, and we'll twist. Take the left hand to the right knee, right hand out behind. Keep the shoulders stacked right over the hips, looking out over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Both arms up overhead, and we'll switch sides. Bring right hand to left knee, left hand out behind. Keep the shoulders stacked right over the knees. Look out over the left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center, both arms up overhead. Take the hands behind the back, interlace the hands. Inhale, open through the chest and the throat, and then exhale, hinge at the hips. Release forehead toward the mat. Reach hands up and over the back of the head. Inhale. Exhale. With a nice long spine, come all the way back up, release the hands, and bring your hands back to your knees. We're gonna do some stomach grinds. We don't do these very often, but this is good to develop some core strength and awareness, which helps us with our spinal strength. So go ahead and shift to the right, come forward with a long spine, reaching the crown of the head forward, and then shift left, keep that spine long, and then when we come back, round the spine, round upper back. Okay, and then extend as we come forward, round as we come back. Keep a nice good grip on the knees. You can use your hands for assistance, and you'll just gradually start to increase the pace. So we're just gonna build a little bit of heat in the core as we continue to warm up through the spine. Okay, so last one in this direction, we'll come forward, elongate through the spine, pause, and starting out slowly, reverse directions. Round the upper back as we come back, and then extend through the spine as we come forward. Just pick up the pace for the last few. Okay, last one in this direction. Come back to center, sit up nice and tall. Good, and then come into a tabletop position. Align the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees, tops of the feet flat to the floor. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Let's do some cat-cows. So as we inhale, release the belly down, lift through the crown of the head and the tailbone, and then as we exhale, we'll round the spine. Lift and separate the shoulder blades, look toward navel center. With the pace of your own breath, just move back and forth between cat and cow. Continuing to warm up the spine. Wherever you are, take one more of each movement. And then come back to tabletop position. So our first spine strengthener today, we're going to come into spinal balance. So balancing on the right knee and the left hand. Extend that right arm forward, extend the left leg back. Work toward keeping two hips in one line, really active from fingertips back through the ball of the foot. Continue to draw the belly button back toward the spine so the core is nice and engaged. Head stays in line with the spine, so the gaze is at the floor. Take one more full breath here. Then coming into swan pose, bend that left leg, take the right hand, reach around for the foot, and start to reach up through the crown of the head. So now we're getting a little flexibility in the spine, opening through the front side of the body. Beautiful, Jessica, looks really nice. And then we'll return back to spinal balance first, just nice and slow and controlled. Release back to tabletop position. And we'll switch sides. So extend that left arm forward and the right leg back. Keep two hips in one line. Stay lifted out of the right shoulder. Try not to collapse. Keep the head in line with the spine. Engage tightly through the core. So our core is assisting us in keeping the spine nice and long. One more full breath here. Bend that right leg, take the foot from the inside, start to press the foot into the hand, reach through the crown of the head. So getting a little bit of flexibility into the spine here, and then opening up through the front side of the body as well. Return to spinal balance first, nice and slow and controlled, and then release to tabletop position. Then we'll just take an inner thigh stretch here. So extend that right leg to the right, take the right heel behind the right toes, tuck the left toes under, hip to heel, and then walk the hands forward. Stretching through the shoulders, releasing the forehead toward the floor. Feel that nice stretch in the right inner thigh. Take a full breath here. And then come all the way back up. Extend left leg to the left heel behind the left toes. Tuck right toes under, right hip to right heel, walk the hands forward. Take a full breath here. And then come all the way back up. Tuck all 10 toes under, lift the hips high up and back, release the heels down toward the floor, coming into downward facing dog. Find some movement here in downward facing dog, starting to pedal the feet. You can sway the hips side to side. Look back toward the toes, watch the heels disappear behind the toes. Let the head hang heavy. Take 3 more breaths. Last full inhale. Exhale. Inhale, take that right leg high, open the hip, bend the leg. Circle the ankle in both directions. Straighten out that leg, square off the hips. Round knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Extend high up and back. Exhale, step through. Release the back knee down toward the floor. And as long as that back knee is on the floor, you can start to let the front knee come forward past your ankle, just allowing us to get deeper into that left hip. You can bring the hands up onto the knee. You can take the top of the foot flat to the floor if you'd like, or you can keep the toes tucked under. Start to extend both arms up overhead for Anjaneyasana, crescent moon pose. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Go ahead, stay nice and active through the fingertips. And just continue to release into the hips. Good. Maybe if the shoulders aren't too tight, connect the palms of the hands up overhead. Maybe cross the thumbs. Little back bend here, optional. Start to lift up out of the pelvis, lift through the crown of the head, maybe looking up. Continue to sink down into the hips. Then come back towards center. Release that right hand to the floor. And start to find a side bend here, reaching up and across with the left arm. Come back towards center and switch sides. So left hand coming down toward the earth. Reach up and across with that right arm. Stretch deeply through the right side and keep right shoulder in line with the right hip. Come back to center. Reach both arms up overhead and then release the hands to the floor. Begin to straighten through that right leg for half splits pose. You can have left hip over left knee, or you can bring left hip to left heel, your choice, and then just stretch into that right hamstring. So forward folding over the right leg. 2 more breaths. Last full breath. And then come forward into a strong low lunge. Plant the hands next to the foot and then step back to plank pose. Hold here in plank. Shoulders right over the wrists and the feet in line with the hips. Head is in line with the spine, so we're gazing down at our mat, a little bit forward of our fingertips. Take 1 more breath. Option always to modify by putting the knees down on the floor. Now shift forward, shoulders come past the wrists, elbows stay in, lower all the way down. Take the tops of the feet flat to the floor, hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, peel up and hold here. Okay. So from here, take the hands off the floor, activating through the back, using all of our muscles to hold our chest up. 1 more inhale. Exhale, lower down. Good. And then from here, tuck the toes under. You can come up to tabletop or plank, and then back to downward facing dog. On the next inhale, take the left leg high. Open the hip, bend the leg. Encircle that foot in both directions. One more full breath. And then straighten the legs, square off the hips, round knee to nose, extend, three-legged dog, and then step through low lunge. Take that back knee down toward the floor. And again, if the back knee is on the floor, you're welcome to take that front knee a little bit past the front ankle, top of the foot flat to floor, or toes tucked under, and then come up onto the knee. Okay, and if this is too much on that hip, you can always come back to more of a 90-degree angle and just start working it as we hold the pose. Okay, but as much as possible, try and sink into the hips. Extend both arms up overhead. Good. Keeping those the wrists over the shoulders and drawn down away from the ears. You can stay here. If the shoulders aren't too tight, connect the palms of the hands and find the opposite cross of the thumbs. And then optional here, a back bend, lifting up and starting to take the gaze up. Back up to center, separate the hands, take that right hand down toward the earth, left arm comes up and across. Breathe into your left ribs, stretching through your left side. Come back up to center, and we'll switch sides. Take the left hand down toward the earth, right arm up and across. Keep that right shoulder in line with the right hip as much as possible. Breathe into the right side. Come back towards center, both arms up overhead, hands to the earth, half splits on the other side. Either hip over knee or hip to heel. Forward fold over the left leg, stretching through the left hamstring. Take a nice deep breath here. And then come forward to low lunge. Plant your hands on either side of your foot. Step back to plank. And this time right away, just lower slowly down onto your mat. Scoot your hands back about an inch, right in line with your ribs, so that might be a little bit further for you. And then we're gonna come up into high cobra. If possible, coming all the way up to straight arms without locking out the elbows. And then from here, go ahead and take your chin to your right shoulder. A nice stretch through the left side of your neck. And then come back towards center. Take your chin to your left shoulder. And come back towards center, and then just lower all the way down. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under, press up, tabletop or plank, and then back to downward facing dog. Big breath here. Look forward towards your hands, walk your feet to the front of your mat, release into ragdoll. Resting the torso on the thighs, take opposite hand to opposite elbow and dangle. You can find movement here if you'd like, or you can find stillness, just opening up the back, slowly opening up the hamstrings. One more full breath. And then come back towards center. Release the hands down toward the mat. On an inhale, come up to a halfway lift. So elongate through the spine, working torso parallel to the floor, so you can have your hands on the floor, block shins or thighs. Stay nice and long. And exhale, forward fold. On the next inhale, halfway lift, sweep the arms off to the side, reach through the fingertips, hold here, engage through the triceps, keep the head in line with the spine. If you need a soft bend in the knees to not overstretch the hamstrings, feel free to take that, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, extend the arms off to the side, reach through the fingertips, and then come all the way up with a flat back. Good, reach both arms up overhead. And then exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, tall mountain, reach both arms up overhead. And then exhale, come down with a flat back. Reaching through the fingertips, extending long through the spine. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, hips low, arms high. Exhale here. Keep the knees back behind the toes, weight in the heels, active through the arms and the fingertips. Take another inhale. Exhale, hands to heart, stand up, mountain pose with Anjali Mudra. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, come down halfway. Flip your hands so they're facing the earth. And then start to extend your arms forward. Connect the palms of your hands and find Arrow Mudra. Squeeze biceps by the ears. So even a little more active here in the back. Okay, keep your arms just as they are, and then come slowly down to forward fold. When the fingertips reach the floor, just release your hands and come into gorilla pose. So lift up your feet and slide your hands underneath your feet. Soles of the feet are connected with palms of the hands, toes are in the wrist crease. And then go ahead and start to bring the elbows off to the side, bringing the crown of the head closer to the floor. One more full breath. Try to avoid crunching the shoulders up by the ears. And then release hands out from underneath the feet. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose with hands at heart center. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Come down halfway, flip the palms of the hands so they're facing the earth, and then sweep the arms forward. Find Arrow Mudra above the crown of your head. Squeeze the biceps toward the ears, hold here. Building strength here in our back. Take one more inhale, and then exhale, lower down. Release the hands, plant the hands to your mat, step back, plank pose. Hold here for another inhale. And then exhale, chaturanga, so lower halfway down. Elbows stay in, grazing the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, step or float to the front of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, tall mountain, rise up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, chaturanga. Step or float back, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Nice jump forward, Josh. Inhale, rise high, tall mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float back, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Last time through. Inhale, step or float forward to the front of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise high, tall mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, take the right leg high. Exhale, step through low lunge. Keep that right knee right over the right ankle. Inhale, crescent lunge, come up. Good. From here, face your palms forward. Cross your thumbs. Start to pull your hands apart and then find a little bit of a back bend here. Stay really active in the arms, pulling your hands apart. Keep that hook in the thumbs nice and strong. Come back towards center, release your hands. Come back to crescent lunge and then warrior two. Plant that foot on the floor. Open up through your hips and shoulders. Very soft gaze across the front fingertips. Get low in that front leg. Good, nice adjustments. Take another full breath here. Inhale, 5-pointed star, rise up. Exhale, prayer squat, bring your hands to your heart, sink down into your hips. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess pose, bring your arms to 90 degrees, palms face in. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, sun god, open up, palms face up, arms are nice and long and extended, parallel to the floor. Inhale, 5-pointed star. And then exhale, moon god, bring your elbows in, touch the ribs, palms face out. Yeah, keep going, squeeze the shoulder blades. Okay, we're gonna work with this sequence a lot in class today. Inhale, 5-pointed star. And then exhale, prasarita, bring your heels behind your toes, hinge forward at the hips. Come all the way down, release. You can reach the hands towards the ankles. Start to get active in the arms, pulling the crown of the head a little bit closer to the floor. So even if we're active in the arms, we're pulling the elbows back and out, we want to stay nice and loose in the neck. Okay, so try to avoid crunching the shoulders up by the ears, draw them down the back. Take one more full breath here. All right, inhale, come up to a halfway lift. Exhale here. Inhale, sweep the arms off to the side. Hold here, reach through the fingertips, just like we did at the beginning of the class, but now our legs are spread, so stay active in your hamstrings, in your quadriceps to protect your hamstrings, the backs of your legs. Take another full breath here. All right, keeping the arms extended as they are, come all the way up, 5-pointed star. Good, nice transitions, everyone. Warrior two to the front of your mat. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, low lunge. Step back, plank pose. Lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog on the inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge, step through. Knee right over the ankle, slowly rise up, crescent lunge. Extend the arms up overhead. Good. Pinkies spiral in, shoulders relax away from the ears. Commit to your lunge, get low in that front leg. Good. All right, palms face out, opposite cross of the thumbs, so it's gonna feel like the awkward grip. Good. Start to pull your hands apart. Get active in your arms. Like so much so, mine are even shaking a little bit. Now, start to lift through the chest, little back bend here. Even as you back bend, you can keep your gaze on the floor if you have trouble balancing. You can always start to take the gaze off the floor. Keep pulling those hands apart, active through the shoulders. So we're building strength in our upper back. Okay, come back to center, release the hands, extend the fingertips up. Crescent lunge never felt so easy. Okay, warrior two, plant that back heel on the floor. Once again, commit to the lunge. Make sure that that knee is right over the ankle and that you can see your big toe when you look down. Press into the outer edge of that back foot, stretching through your ankle. Good. Soft gaze across the front fingertips. Keep your jaw relaxed. All right, breath to movement. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, prayer squat. So same sequence here. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess pose. 90 degrees in the arms. Get low in your lunge. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, sun god pose. Arms parallel, palms face up. Good. Inhale, 5-pointed star. And then exhale, moon god. Elbows in, palms face out. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, heels behind your toes. Hinge forward. Standing straddle splits come all the way down. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. All right, come up to a halfway lift. This time, keep your left hand on the floor or a block, and then sweep that right arm up. Keep your hips as level as possible. So we're twisting through the spine, we're building strength as we keep the hips level and use your core to make the twist happen. Okay, come right hand back toward the floor and then sweep that left arm up. As much as possible, keep the hips level. So if the left hip is hiking up, bring it back down. Alignment looks really good, Wakenda. Maybe gazing up toward the fingertips. Keep the head in line with the spine. Gaze following the twist. Okay, release. All right, bring both arms off to the side just like we did on the other side. Reach through the fingertips. Now, without touching the hands to the floor, we're just gonna find that twist again. Left hand down, right arm up. Come back towards center. And then right arm down, left arm up. We'll just do one more time on both sides. Really active in your core. Keep your arms in line with one another. Last time on the other side. Come back, hold, and release. One more full breath here. Come all the way up. 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, low lunge. Step back, plank. Lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. And go ahead and come down to a seat, grab a sip of water. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to make our way on to our stomach, and we're going to do some spine strengthening postures on our mat. All right, so let's start by taking our feet to about mat distance apart. Extend your arms off to the side. Keep your head in line with your spine as you lift, okay? So try to avoid throwing your head back to protect your neck. Inhale, lift everything off the floor. Good. Work toward getting those hands the height of the top of your head. Good, yeah, there you go. Nice. Press back through the balls of your feet so your quads are really engaged. Nice lift, Jessica. Looks good. Continue to breathe. You've got this. One more breath. Stay focused. Okay, release. Right ear to the mat and just let it go. Couple breaths here. Okay, extend Zip up your legs. Extend your right arm forward, palm faces down. Good. Bend your left leg. Take your foot from the outside, not the inside. Good. So hold on to your foot. Good. Keep your legs zipped up. Lift everything off the floor. Okay. Hard to get too much height on this one. This is a hard one. At least you can smile. Keep holding it. Really working low back to keep those legs zipped up and release. So left ear to the mat. I know, that's a hard one. Two more breaths. And then chin back to the mat, zip up your legs, left arm forward, palm faces down, take your foot from the outside, zip up your legs, good, and then lift everything off the floor. Nice, McKenna, beautiful height. Looks good, Tom, alignment looks really nice. Keep holding. One more full breath. And release, right ear to the mat. Two more breaths. All right, chin back to the mat. So bow is going to feel like a piece of cake now compared to that. Now we get to bend both legs for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Zip up the legs again. Good. And then press the feet into the hands and start to lift. Beautiful. And release, left ear to the mat. All right, press all the way up. We're gonna make our way onto our back. Do a little core strengthening here. So go ahead and lay all the way down. So we're gonna do some eagle sit-ups. So we'll just cross that right leg over the left, work toward the wrap. It's okay if you don't have the wrap. If you can though, tuck that foot behind your left ankle. And then we're gonna bring that right arm underneath the left. And if you can't get the palms connected, you can take hands to the shoulders or backs of the hands to touch, or bringing the palms to touch. Bring the elbows to touch the knees. Okay, we're gonna do eagle on our feet in just a little bit. So just really focus on your alignment here, keeping the knees and the elbows in line with one another, and release. And then just lift and tap for 8, 7, and last one, and release. And we'll switch out the sides. So left leg's gonna come up and over the right, maybe hooking the toes behind the ankle. Left arm underneath right, either hands to the shoulders, backs of the hands touching, or palms. And then bring elbows and knees to connect. Okay, so hold here. Keep your hips and shoulders nice and level. Okay, instead of tilting off to one side or the other. And then lift and lower and just tap the toe to the floor. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then just unwind and big stretch. Fingertips all the way down to the toes. Big breath into the belly. And pull the knees into the chest. Big squeeze here. And then release your feet to the floor with your knees bent. Bring your hands alongside your body. And then for bridge pose, press into your heels. Lift your hips up. Keep that chest coming toward the chin, but the chin coming away from the chest, so your neck is nice and long on your mat. All right, so just to connect with the muscles that are holding us up along our spine here, go ahead and use your glutes. So get really nice and tight and find that lift. Okay, so squeeze your glutes, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hopefully that brought you a little bit higher. Now, stay this height and then just let go of your glutes. Do you feel that activate the muscles along your spine? And then just experiment one more time. Just squeeze your glutes, hips come nice and high. You're using that strength to hold you. Now, keep your height, release your glutes. It's just a pretty dramatic difference. Now you're using the muscles along your spine, especially in your low back, to hold your hips up high. Maybe you're shaking a little bit by now. I am. It's a good thing. And then just slowly lower down. All right. First, let the knees rest toward one another so they're touching. And then pull the knees into the chest. For Apanasana, knees to chest pose, squeeze. Good. And then just roll the length of the spine. And then we'll make our way back to downward facing dog. We'll come back to our standing series of postures. Take a couple deep breaths in downward facing dog. All right, inhale the right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Breath to movement now. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, five-pointed star. We're just gonna do one squat, so hands to heart, exhale, lower down. Inhale, five-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, low lunge. Ground down through that right foot. Inhale, standing splits. Lift that left leg off the floor. Let the head hang heavy. Look back toward the back of your mat. All 5 toes are pointing down towards your mat. Okay, coming up to standing staff. See if you can do it without touching that left leg down. Really nice control. Lift your arms up overhead. Get your head in line with your spine, shoulders over your hips. Alignment looks really nice. Moving from here into eagle pose. So bring that left leg, wrap it around the right. Right arm, wrap it underneath the left. Hold here. And again, if you don't get the wrap of the hands, you can always touch your shoulders. Take 3 more breaths in eagle pose, keeping the hips and shoulders squared to the front of the mat. Good, last full breath. Okay, very slowly we're gonna start to come, bring the elbows toward the knees. Look down at the mat. So this is the position we were in when we were doing our eagle crunches. And then just find this kind of rounding of the upper back. Nice stretch here. Take one more full breath. Now we're going to unwind the legs and the arms, and we're going to come into airplane pose. So just bring that left leg back behind. Bring the arms, reach them back. Good. Last push on this right leg. What we're going to do now is bring your arms out to airplane arms, capital T. Okay. Bring your hands to your heart. Bring your arms to capital T. Bring your arms to goddess. So find 90 degrees, palms face each other. Good. Bring your arms to capital T, and then bring elbows in, palms face down like you're doing moon god. Good. Bring your arms back to capital T, and then step back, low lunge. Good job. Okay, that was challenging. Step back plank, lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Okay, really challenging on that one leg. Building strength in the spine and balance. Lots going on. Couple more breaths. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step through. Inhale, crescent, breath to movement. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, five-pointed. Exhale, prayer squat. Inhale, five-pointed. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, low lunge. Preparing for standing splits. Just pop off that right foot. Lift that right leg up. Look back so your head is heavy, your neck is long. 5 toes of your right foot pointing down. One more breath. And slowly rise up, standing staff. And then preparing for Garudasana, eagle pose. Right leg is gonna wrap around the left, right arm underneath the left. Touch your shoulders, backs of your hands, or find the wrap. Keep your shoulders and hips squared to the front of your mat. Keep your gaze steady. Pull your elbows down and in, so you're gonna stretch through the tops of your shoulders. Now pull your elbows out and up, stretch through your upper back. Another breath. Bring your elbows to touch your knees. Nice and slow. Find that rounding in the upper back. And gaze is steady at the floor. Last breath. Extend your legs straight out behind you, arms straight out behind you for airplane. Squeeze your triceps. Bring your arms to airplane arms, palms face down. And then exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms straight out. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, arms straight out. Exhale, moon god, elbows in, palms face down. Inhale, extend your arms. And then exhale, low lunge. Inhale, step back plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. And just stretch out those hips after all that work. Good. Sit up tall. And then come all the way down. come up onto the hands. We're gonna do the spine strengthener and the little back bend here. So from here, start to reach your hands toward the back of your mat. You have the option of just holding here, or you can interlace your fingers or your hands behind for a chest expansion. Either way, use the strength of your back to keep your chest lifted. Good. And then take your hands back toward the floor. And then we're gonna bend that left leg. And go ahead and take the foot first from the inside, coming into mermaid pose. You can just stop wherever you need to stop, okay? Second phase is to start to slide, so Jessica, opposite hand. There you go, yeah. Yep, perfect. And then you can slide that foot in towards your elbow. Okay, you can stop there if you want. Last part, palm faces forward, fingers face up. We reach that arm up and over. For full mermaid, no, not gonna happen. Okay, and release. Come back to downward facing dog, pedal out your feet. Lift the left leg high, half pigeon on the other side. Extend through the spine. And release and relax. Continue to stay connected to the breath. Come on. And for the spine strengthener, start to reach your fingers back towards your heels. See how much of a back bend you can get using the strength of your spine. You're welcome to interlace your fingers if you want for a chest expansion. Just continue to open through your chest. Release the hands, and then for mermaid, bend your right leg. Take your foot from the inside. Good. You can stay here, or you can start to work the toes toward the elbow. You can stay here, or work for the bind, reaching that left arm up and over. Good, you got it on that side. Nice, Jessica. Mermen don't do this move. Good. And release. Come back to down dog, pedal out the feet. And come down to a seat. Okay, we're gonna do 3 back bends before we close our class. We're gonna do camel pose, bridge pose, and wheel pose. All right, so first for camel, go ahead and come up onto your shins. You can have your feet in line with your knees in line with your hips, and the option, if you'd like, you can tuck your toes under, or take the tops of the feet flat to the floor, hands to low back, elbows draw in, press the hips forward, start to lift through the chest. Okay, you can stay there, or if it's accessible, you can bring one hand at a time down towards your heels. Good. All these camels look really nice. Continue to breathe. 3 deep breaths into your chest. All the way up. Hips to your heels, hands on your thighs, 3 deep breaths. You can take open mouth exhales. Take your time. It's very normal to feel a little lightheaded or dizzy after camel pose, not uncommon. When you're ready, make your way down onto your back for bridge pose. All right, this is our second bridge of class, so this one will be a little bit of a shorter hold. Bring your hips toward your heels in line with your knees. Hands to the earth, lift your hips. Hold here for 7 breaths. Last 2 breaths. And slowly lower down. Let your knees fall toward one another. All right, you can take bridge again if you'd like. Otherwise, we're going to take Dhanurasana, bow pose, wheel pose. So flip your hands. Fingers are going to point toward your heels. Elbows stay in and pointing up toward the sky. Lift your hips up and then press up onto the crown of your head very lightly, not a lot of weight here. And then use the strength of your arms. Start to extend them straight. Good. Really nice, Josh. Alignment looks really good. Continue to pull those elbows in. Good, Jessica. You stuck? Slowly lower down. Really nice poses, everyone. Good choices. Let your knees rest toward one another again. And then from here, bring your arms to goal post and release your knees to the right. Any leg variation you'd like. Come back through center, release your knees in the opposite direction. And come back towards center. Knees to chest pose and or happy baby. When you're ready, Shavasana. And just like we did at the beginning of class, if your mind has wandered or if your thoughts have left your mat, try to come back. These last few precious moments of our yoga class when we just get to release into the body, release the breath. Start to awaken the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Roll the wrists and the ankles. And then just make your way to a full body stretch, reaching the arms up overhead. And take your time making your way onto your side. Take this last moment here to acknowledge your practice. Thank yourself for making your way to your mat today. And set an intention for the rest of your day. And come all the way up to a seat. Hands to the heart, and we'll close our class together. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose, fill all the way up. A little extra sip of air at the top. Let it go through the mouth. Today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, peace in your heart. Namaste.